Hello, YouTube. I'm going to talk about some of my past again. This past that I have, apparently, it has many, many, many stories, many legs, many chapters, and much, much bullshit. It really does. But this video is absolutely positively for the spiritually gifted and psychic people that are in law enforcement. You need to really, really listen to this, because it's an absolute fact and truth. It's something that's been happening in our world for millennia. People are constantly getting away with it. This is the reason for most madness and insanity. When people decide to dance in the shadows on the dark side, they do not understand where this can lead them for all eternity. I am someone who have watched all of you dance in dark shadows on the other side, in bars, in Fun Town. It ain't so fun now, is it? We're going to talk about my ex-boyfriend, Michael Francis Danson. And yeah, I'm going to name names because I don't give a fuck anymore. I really don't. I know what this fucker did. And I am going to announce it to the whole world, and I don't care. If you were sitting in my shoes and you knew and you didn't say anything, I'd be the first one to meet and greet and call you a coward. I met Mike in 2004 at a strip club I was working at. I also worked at a moving and storage company. I was trying to make ends meet and get my children back into my custody. They had been out of my custody for a couple years. Mike, he wasn't going to help me do that. I couldn't date him while I worked at the bar, so I literally had to quit the bar so I could start dating him, because I was contracted to the bar. And the contract ended when I quit working there. So I dated him. He was a retired military army branch. He had been in the army for 20 years, and he told me that the army owned him for 20 years. Like, nobody owns me for 20 years unless I sign up for it. I didn't. But apparently he did. This guy, I didn't see it coming, because he was an upstanding citizen of the community. Everybody seemed to like him. He had a nice home. He had a nice car. It seemed like, he had a very middle-class life, He seemed very upright in many respects. I did something I shouldn't have done, and I've been paying the price ever since. I just wanted to try a spell. Yeah, that definitely tipped off an entire domino effect upon my life and my family's life. It did. It really did. Mike decided to go down into the deepest depths of his environment and soul, and he decided to make a deal with the devil for my soul. He sold my soul while I lived at his home. I found a portal in his home. I couldn't figure out what it was there for. It made me spin in circles for at least 3 minutes. A lot of phenomenon and weird activity happened at this home. My youngest daughter, Amanda, lived with me there. She ended up getting pregnant there. It wasn't a good scene. What with him selling my soul, inviting the devil in. Like, I had no idea this was happening, but Mother Mary was with me the entire time. And she was, dropping gems about what I could do and how I could do it. Mike didn't want to let go of me. He held on to me with every fiber of his being. He absolutely did. Some of the phenomenon that took place in his home was the old hag kept paralyzing me in my sleep. One night something came inside of me while she was paralyzing me. I didn't know what it was, but it did enable me to loosen my right hand to reach out and grab Mike's stomach. I have no idea what happened to him, but he did jump up out that bed. He sat on the edge of the bed for well over 30, 40 minutes. Just, I don't know. And I asked him what was wrong, and he told me he was drunk. But he exited our bathroom, which he never did this, through the back door of our bathroom. Our bathroom had a back door, which was attached to our bedroom, but he never opened it because there was a towel rack. And he snuck into the bathroom, and he hid in there. Meanwhile, I had to get up and deal with God only knows what. But when I walked through the threshold of the bedroom, I had chills from head to toe. It was like a gateway, like the same one I experienced when Vince was here, just from head to toe. It was strange. This probably happened between 2006 and 2007. I had nonstop nightmares. This motherfucker was tying me down in my sleep. And when I mean, he's tying my soul down. He's absolutely terrifying me. And he's making me watch him harvest my energy, knowing that I'm terrified. And I know that this is someone that's supposed to care about me, and I'm watching him torture me. I've had nightmares about this nonstop. He went after someone that I cared about. He went after Bill. And Bill's wife at the time came after me. And I feel like it's been a never-ending circle with this shit. I don't think Bill had any clue as to what the fuck was going on. He only rolled in for a one-night stand every once in a blue moon. Maybe every 5-7 years, if that. But that last time he rolled in and out, I was pretty much over it all. Because it was so painful. And I had to leave all that shit there, because from there I got on my spiritual path, and I'm still on it to the day. Mike kept dropping hints off. He kept threatening me. If you say anything, if you do anything, I swear it, bitch, you're gonna die. And so are your kids. When Amanda had Nicole, my granddaughter, when Amanda had her, about 2-3 months after her birth, Amanda and the baby had fallen asleep in the living room on the couch. Amanda was cradling the baby in her arms. You know. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I got up, and I was at the top of the stairs, and I stopped. Right there at the top of the stairs. I couldn't go down them because of what I saw. I saw a demon, over 12 feet tall. Mike had a vaulted ceiling. And the baby was levitating right in front of it. The demon, the devil, was trying to get their energy raised up in me because he needed to do a harvest. And he wanted to do a pretty big one, and he knew I was going to stop breathing, adrenalize, and freak the fuck out in the moment. I kept myself as calm as I could because I didn't want the baby to get killed. And I knew that was a very real possibility in the moment. My daughter was still sleeping, cradling her baby. She had no idea this was going on. The next thing that happened is that demon slung the baby across the floor, and when it did, that's when my energy raised right up and out of me and straight into that demon. Straight into him. I grabbed the baby. My daughter woke up. We broke that spell. But that was just the beginning, and I'm still waiting for it to end. Mike kept dropping hints here and there. He took me and my daughter on a vacation to North Carolina, but during that vacation, Mike left me and my daughter at home one day, and he said he needed to go and do some bank stuff with his son in South Carolina. I have no doubt that Mike and his son went and visited a church in South Carolina. They cased it, and they came back. How do I know that? That's interesting. Mike was in Afghanistan for a term. And while he was there, he decided to take a picture of himself. The picture that Mike took of himself in Afghanistan was absolutely positively identical in every way, shape, and form to the kid that murdered the 9 souls in the South Carolina church. They featured that kid with, I don't know if it was a tent. I just know that these 2 photos were identical because I had seen the picture of the kid, and I was like, oh my God, I've seen this before. Oh my God, Mike took this picture of himself. And it just was one of those moments where But I can't prove that Mike possessed that kid and used that kid's mind, body, and soul to go murder them people. It always comes down to that. But telling the truth about it, people deserve to know. This is one of the numerous ways evil's going to come for you. Now, I don't know what this kid did. I don't know who he made a deal with. I don't fucking know, but guaranteed something like that happened with that kid somewhere down the road or in the past. So that kid was absolutely obligated to the devil to do Mike's bidding for him. He was obligated because Mike had offered up a chosen one. And the devil was going to give Mike what Mike the fuck wanted. That kid. To take the blame for all 9 murders. Okay? Again, I don't know what this kid did in his past. I have no idea. If he did anything at all. I don't know. But usually that's how it is. So Mike waylaid that threat at me. And he was right. Without proof and evidence, there will be no conviction, right? And I knew that. And I inchwormed my way out of his home. But he didn't want to let go. He didn't want to let go. He didn't want to let go because he knew offering my soul up was going to clear his family. How? How was it going to clear his family? Let me tell you how. Mike's favorite military was SS Waffen. Look it up. SS Waffen. Look the fucking shit up. His grandfather decided to resurrect a dragon. Any dragon that is resurrected anywhere in the world is going to come back evil. That's a well-known fact in the spirit realm. It is. So his grandpa did that, cursing and condemning the whole Broomhilda family. That's his mother's name, Broomhilda. You'd never know she was a witch. She was your innocent grandma type. Always, knitting her own sweaters. Home cooking everything. Her food was phenomenal. I'm not going to lie. She wasn't really the problem, though. It was her son, Mike. He was a problem, and he remains. He made some choices in this. He shapeshifted into that child. I know about the 9 souls, because they ended up here at the Citadel I featured in one of my videos. They turned into 9 eagles, and I watched them fly home to heaven. God bless them. I wanted to know if the information I was getting was correct and true, and I asked God to send me a message. If it was true that those 9 souls from South Carolina had been held hostage in that Citadel because of Mike, would he please send in some volunteers to depict them? Because that should be depicted as a place of honor. And sure enough, the next week, a whole bunch of volunteers showed up from the community center and depicted all 9 victims. The youngest one was depicted on a skateboard. He was 23. I still have a hard time with this to the day because I couldn't understand what was happening in the moment, and I couldn't save them. And those are not people that you want missing from this earth. I promise they're not. They were all angels, all earth angels. That is my truth about Mike. And I hope this answers many questions. For those of you that are in the police department that are doing abso-fucking-lutely nothing to help me, fuck you. I figured my own fucking case out.